Beautiful, beautiful day. Days are starting to get warmer here in Georgia where I'm at, and so there's a little cafe, and they said they felt like air was blowing, but it wasn't cool. So I don't know anything, I haven't been here. This is a cute little old unit. I've got them allegedly turning it on downstairs, but I has questions. There's no cooling circuit hooked up. So we've got red, we've got heat. We don't have cooling. Maybe they never had cooling on this unit. Just no telling. But I mean, am I wrong? There's a black wire sitting here, but it's clearly been wrapped. Well, maybe this unit died long ago and they just used it for heating. All right, so I've got the owner. Boy, I feel like there's heat coming out of this thing right now probably from in the kitchen. I had the owner turned it to fan on instead of auto, since I know I can't monkey with the cool, and he seems to not remember whether he has cooling or not. So common to the fan, I've got 24 volts. I should have a fan running, and I don't. So now we got to figure out. I checked my power in there as far as I've got 210. I've got 210 coming into the contactor. I haven't manually tried to bump it yet to see what happens. A little hesitant to do that before I can get a bearing of what in the heck is going on here. I'll set that up there to give me a little bit of a... So, it's not... I gotta be careful because, again, in theory, this could start at any time. I'm also half tempted, oh boy, to go downstairs and make sure the thermostat's set right myself. Not that I don't trust them, but you know how that goes. All right, so check this guy out. I can make it run, but this contactor is wired into the cooling circuit and the blower. I definitely felt like I heard the compressor come on. Oh, look at that too. Look at that beauty right there. Good on him for fixing it, look. Had a leak in the condenser. Cut it back and torched it. Good job. Okay, why isn't this wired? I mean, when he can set it for cool, it's not gonna come on. He's got it wired into green, which I gotta get behind there to see what's wired in there, to see where those go. So I'm on the phone with this owner and he swears, and yet we are positive I'm in the right place. These are the correct units. He swears that he feels air coming out in the kitchen. But that's not possible. Or is it? How could that be possible? Well, I haven't come up here to look at this front unit yet, other than I didn't hear it come on. Well, this is just thermo condenser. This isn't a blower or a furnace. All that stuff's gonna be downstairs in this ceiling. But you'll also notice none of these other buildings have this unit. So I wonder if they put in this split unit and then piped it into the ductwork over here and disconnected this. So before I go wasting any more time trying to figure out why this isn't cooling, I'm gonna go downstairs, get up in the ceiling, take a look at that blower assembly. If it says it's cooling, it's still not. We got a problem. But yeah, so stand by. All right, I haven't gone downstairs yet, but here's the front unit, which again should be, according to them, running. Look at that guy, boy. You know how much I love that. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. Oh, hey. So there's your problem. There's your problem. So even if this gets energized, God knows what happens. Compressor will come on. Fan control won't. It's actually dangerous as all get out. I'm not holding that. Look. Melted that terminal. Yeah, she is crispy. This outdoor unit won't run. Let me check the wiring schematic. Oh, wait. What? Oh, wait. What? She's crispy. Also, no disconnect. I have no disconnect up here to power this down. Yeah, I just straight got my wires running in. Boy. Alright, this is the behind the scenes of the thermostat in the kitchen. And it's brutal in here, man. I mean, it's 80 degrees. It's miserable. They have no heating hooked up in here. They only have cooling and green. So, and it's the black wire. So why don't I go upstairs? I can do one of two things. I can go upstairs and check that black wire, see if I have a call for cooling. If not, I'm gonna unhook that white wire and use this one. Well, let's see. Okay. I just connected the white wire. I pulled the black and I put the white wire in Y1 and I connected it up top before I came down. So now when the cool down period, right, once that goes solid, then I should hear the unit kick on. I'm gonna run upstairs and see where we're at. Then we'll see why they turned off. Because again, this rear unit has not cooled in however long because it wasn't set up to cool. It was only set up to heat. But they didn't realize it was so terrible because the front unit was doing all the heavy lifting. Now the front unit jumped down on them and they have no cooling at all. So it appears if you connect the cooling circuit to the thermostat, it'll cool. It appears that way. I hear my compressor. We're rejecting heat. I'm assuming my blower started. Yeah, the most wackadoo thing, right? Upstairs, only a white wire connected to heating. Downstairs, only a black wire connected to cooling. What? It's the problem with running behind people, right? Yep. All right. So, back of house units rolling. All right, we're gonna try something here. Let's try something 3-pole 24 volt. All right. So here's what I'm fixing to do, or what I really already did. I got to go downstairs and look at the thermostat. What a cluster. That's the heater control board, and I don't need that right now. I need air conditioning. So, while I don't have the board available to me locally anyway, and this unit is from 1996, no. Got a new contactor in it. I'm going to control it with the 24 volts directly from the thermostat. All right, so it was brown. So the common is brown coming out of the thermostat, and then the cooling circuit is yellow. So because I've got a furnace down there controlling all this, that's where the transformer is. I made my connection, I powered that up. My power down here is still off. I don't have 3-phase power. My contactor's pulled in. So we should, when I go turn the breaker on, because I don't have a disconnect here, when I go turn the breaker on, oh, I can't reach it. I just want to make sure it spins, because it didn't start before, but I assume that was because of the, yeah, it moves. I assume that was because the one leg of its power ran out of that board. Now I've got it running from L2 on the load side, and then I've got the other, because this is 240 single phase. So we've got one leg of power going through the contactor, or going through the capacitor, and then out. There you go. So it sucks I'm here alone. I mean, the owner's not here. They've got workers here, but so I got to go hit the breaker And since I don't have a disconnect here, I won't know if it fires up, but we'll see. All right. Now, right, we got a world of our own problems here. Once she will run, then we can see if it's actually cooling, if it's got gas. Like I said, I'm not gonna waste time putting in a disconnect or... And that obviously looks sketch, but I'm getting discharge, so I'm getting compression. I don't have much coming back yet. It's gonna take some time to get that evaporator cool. I feel heat rejection. All right, I had this set up for either way. I think this will be the easiest to show you. So this has a reversing valve, right? Because this is a heat pump. So my discharge line comes out and comes into this valve. The question is, do I need the valve energized or not for cooling? And sometimes they're all different. I don't know by default. You know, you guys are smart enough, some of you may know. So when it's running, right now I have it disenergized. I have this tied into the contactor for 24 volts. But, so what I know now is my hot discharge line is coming into the bottom, and then it is leaving out the left port. You can feel it, it's hot. And it runs into my condenser. So that is correct. If I energize this, I can tell you what happens is it switches and my discharge goes to here, which then you chase it and that runs down into my evaporator. So that would be mechanical heating. So de-energized is how it needed to be. If I energize it by putting that on there, my reversing valve is going to kick and will be heating inside instead of cooling. I'm not confident this unit's actually cooling, but let's give it some time. We definitely got a nice hot discharge. My compressor is nice and toasty. I don't have much in the way of cold coming back, but that room is 76, 78 degrees right now, so we're under a heavy load. I'm not going to put gauges or anything on it yet. I'm going to go downstairs with the FLIR and take a look at the output temp. So I bumped it to make sure it would work before we started. We didn't have a fan. She's out of gas. Out of gas. I'm gonna guess, based on the fact that it's mineral oil, that we're dealing with R22. Tag is pretty well unreadable. Of the unit, not of the compressor. Boo. I guess I could have checked pressures earlier, but it ran. I sent the owner my opinion, which is that we shouldn't gas it up. But we've decided instead that rear AC unit obviously wasn't working at all because it wasn't wired. The thermostat wasn't wired to run the cooling. So that building's been running on just the dining room AC for who knows how long. So instead, we're going to let it run on just the back of house AC and see what we get. Buy us a little time before we have to make a real decision. So it's 9 pounds of R22. So, I mean, that's what I said. You're going to pump in $1,200 plus of Freon into that unit. It is from 2000. The compressor's from 2000. So it's a little weird when I ran the compressor through the Copeland app. It said it was from 2000, but the Rheem unit says it's from 96. So that doesn't add up. But I'm going to trust that the compressor's definitely from 2000. So either way. Yeah, well, that's the end of that one. So I just didn't want to, I've packed up. We're going to let it cool this evening. Again, the back of house is 71. He's going to set it for 70 and just leave all the doors, the interior doors open to help the air run. The blower motor's running on the front unit. So we'll see tonight and tomorrow what the temps do in there, and then he'll have to make a decision. Does he want to, quote, replacing the whole unit or gassing it up? So we'll see you next time.